Let's get right into this. Number 10. The astronaut suit in a 1940s photo. There's this black and white photo from the 1940s showing a man who looks like he's just walked off a NASA launch pad. Full suit, helmet, tubes, everything. People lost their minds. Proof of time travel? Sure, because obviously the guy popped out of a wormhole just to flex in front of a propeller plane. The truth's less sci-fi, more human. In the late 1930s, aviation engineers were already designing pressurized suits for high-altitude flights. They needed to keep pilots alive above 40,000 feet, and those suits, by coincidence, looked eerily like future space gear. Many of the same companies later worked with NASA. So yes, evolution has receipts. That 1940s guy wasn't an astronaut lost in time. He was just the beta version of one. It's funny. History always looks futuristic when you only see the highlight reel. We think they were behind, but they were just testing the prototypes of our dreams. Number 9. A smartphone-like object in 1928 footage. In a 1928 Charlie Chaplin movie premiere, a woman walks by holding what looks like a smartphone. She's talking into it, smiling, multitasking like she's got a call with her manager in 2128. Conspiracy forums exploded. Time traveler. But historians later found she was likely using a portable hearing aid amplifier. Yup, an early clunky version existed. Metal box, antenna, speaker hole, shaped suspiciously like an iPhone. Our pattern-obsessed brains saw what they wanted, ourselves, hidden in the past. That's the funny part. We're so self-centered as a species that even history must reflect our gadgets. Maybe in 2128, people will watch our TikToks and think we were communicating with ghosts. The real time machine isn't the phone, it's the footage. Proof that human gestures, gossip, and vanity haven't evolved in a century. Only the screen got brighter. The loneliness stayed the same. Number 8. The man watching JFK's assassination smiling. In one of history's most tragic photos, JFK's assassination, there's one man in the crowd smiling. Everyone's panicking, some crying, but this guy, he's grinning like he just found $1. Conspiracy lovers called him an agent, a demon, or a tourist from the future. Turns out psychology has a simpler, creepier answer. When overwhelmed by trauma, some brains misfire and smile as a defense reflex. It's the same weird instinct that makes people giggle at funerals. His grin wasn't joy, it was shock management. But that frame became a meme for decades, because we love freezing chaos into one aha image. It's proof of how easily emotion gets misread when paused. A photograph traps expression but kills context. The man wasn't mocking death. He was just another human glitching under unbearable tension. Sometimes the scariest thing about history isn't what happened. It's what our faces accidentally confessed. Number 7. The time traveler seen at a 1941 bridge opening. The 1941 photo of a crowd at a Canadian bridge opening looks ordinary until you spot a man in a hoodie, graphic tee, and sunglasses, surrounded by bow ties and fedoras. Internet detectives screamed, "Time traveler!" But a closer look reveals brands that existed back then. The sweater's a sports cardigan, the shades were motorcycle goggles, and the camera he's holding, a common Kodak from the era. It's not time travel, it's time's terrible fashion sense. What freaked people out wasn't his outfit, but the illusion of modernity, the invading nostalgia. We want history to look ancient, organized, sepia-toned, not casually cool. Yet every generation had its oddballs who didn't fit the frame. He's not from the future. He's proof the present has always existed, scattered in fragments before its time. And honestly, if someone did travel from the future, would they really waste it on a bridge opening? Number 6. The woman in 1800s portrait wearing AirPods-like earrings. There's this oil painting from the 1800s showing a woman wearing what looks like AirPods. Internet. Apple's prototype leaked 200 years early. Reality. Pearl earrings, one of humanity's oldest accessories. The real mystery isn't the jewelry. It's our obsession with seeing ourselves everywhere. The brain runs on pattern recognition. When we spot 2 white dots near ears, it screams Bluetooth. We forget that vanity predates electricity. Those pearls were the AirPods of her era, silent flexes of wealth and taste. Maybe she wasn't listening to music, but she was definitely tuned into social status. Every century recycles aesthetics. Fashion isn't linear. It loops like a bad playlist. We think we're modern because our accessories glow, but she probably ignored people the same way we do, pretending to listen while lost in her own playlist of thoughts. Number 5. The one pilot found in modern watch brand. In a 1916 battlefield photo, a pilot's wrist sports what looks suspiciously like a modern Tag Heuer. People online lost it. Luxury brands survived the trenches. But the truth's more poetic. Early aviators often strapped pocket watches to leather cuffs so they could check time mid-air without losing fingers to frostbite. Those makeshift straps birthed the wristwatch itself. Function became fashion. Survival became style. That pilot wasn't showing off a brand. He was counting borrowed seconds between dogfights. The resemblance to a modern watch isn't proof of time travel, it's proof of continuity. Humanity keeps redesigning the same idea, control over time. But irony bites hard. No matter how precise the watch, it can't slow what matters. The pilot's timepiece didn't predict Tag Heuer, it just proved time always wins, even when worn on your wrist. Number 4. A photo of cloud faces identical to ancient idols. A 1950s photograph shows thunderclouds forming faces identical to ancient Mayan idols. People called it divine intervention, proof the gods returned. But science calls it pareidolia, the brain's glitch that forces faces into randomness. We see gods, demons, and ex-lovers in cloud formations because the mind hates emptiness. It needs stories to survive silence. It's evolutionary art therapy. Ancient carvers saw the same shapes and gave them names. We didn't find meaning in clouds. We put it there centuries ago and forgot. That's why every sacred pattern feels familiar. It's recycled imagination. The clouds weren't speaking. They were reflecting our ancestors' sketches back at us. Nature's greatest joke is repetition, same illusions, new believers. The gods don't send signs. They send mirrors, and we keep mistaking them for messages. Number 3. The painting predicting 9/11 smoke columns. A 1970s painting shows 2 tall towers, planes, and black smoke long before 9/11's. It feels prophetic, like someone saw the script early. But the artist, Willie Daniels, was painting his Cold War anxiety, skyscrapers symbolizing fragile progress, smoke symbolizing the human cost of ambition. After 2001, the image went viral as proof of foresight, but really it shows how fear repeats its shape across decades. Tragedy always looks familiar because our collective anxieties don't change. They just modernize. Every generation paints its apocalypse, and eventually one version comes true. Maybe that's not prophecy. Maybe it's pattern recognition on a cosmic scale. The scariest part isn't that he predicted 9/11's. It's that humanity's imagination always hovers near collapse. We keep sketching disaster until reality finally catches up. Number 2. A 1930s selfie before cameras existed. There's a 1930s photo of a man holding something reflective, staring into it like he's taking a mirror selfie. People freaked out. A phone before phones. But box cameras with reflective viewfinders existed back then. Early photographers were experimenting with self-portraits long before filters and dopamine hearts. We think narcissism was born with Instagram, but even cave paintings were basically prehistoric status updates. Humans have always wanted to preserve a version of themselves that feels permanent, the illusion of control over time. That man wasn't flexing for followers. He was testing immortality through silver nitrate. The selfie didn't cheapen self-image. It democratized it. Every click, old or new, whispers the same thing. I was here once. And that's all most of us ever want the universe to remember. Number 1. The 1905 photo of the disappearing man shadow. In a 1905 street photo, everyone casts a shadow, except one man. The internet called him the vanishing man, proof of glitches in reality. But early cameras used long exposure, meaning if you moved mid-shot, you'd literally fade out. The man wasn't supernatural, he just walked too fast for history to keep up. Still, that image feels haunting. One man erased from his own moment. It's a metaphor for all of us, constantly moving, half visible to the world, hoping the frame catches us before we're gone. The ghost isn't him. It's us, running through timelines, blurry and unfinished. Maybe every photo hides a missing person, not dead, just forgotten by light. That's the curse of motion. The faster we live, the less of us stays in the picture.